It's funny, there's like a little bit of a correlation between mountain bikers and motorcyclists. You know, I ride motorcycles often, and I've ridden bicycles more, but I've been more into the road stuff. But there's this thing that motorcyclists and mountain bikers do. They get too comfortable. Their confidence gets the better of them most of the time. In motorcycling, when the rider's been riding for a while, they tend to take more chances because they're more confident. But motorcycling and mountain biking is a great equalizer, because no matter how much skill you have, how much money you have, how good your bike is, it's sometimes it's just not so much the skill, it's the you know what, I'm going to walk this. It's just the confidence that people have that gets them in trouble. And one thing I've noticed about motorcyclists is that they think they are always the best thing since sliced bread. Every single motorcyclist thinks they are really good. So when you are online, you're always like, wow, people have gone up this hill in the snow. I have never been able to do this hill, ever, never. One of these days I'm going to do this one, but today is not it. So yeah, the difference between motorcyclists is that, well, not the difference, the similarity. Motorcyclists they think they're so good. And I've noticed there's a lot of that too in mountain biking, and it's mostly online. When you meet riders in person, they're a whole lot nicer. But online, there's this very strange bravado. I think mountain biking, in a way, it definitely makes you, it doesn't really matter, because once you start riding, most people become humble, because it has so much more to do with physical fitness, and there's a lot of skill. Some people are just better at doing the skills part to mountain biking, but some, if you have good cardio, to me that's the most important thing. It's like if you're getting chased by zombies, cardio wins over strength. That's the way I see it. You always have to compare everything to zombies. In motorcycling, if you're watching, you should get into motorcycling. I've done a lot. Dirt biking, dual sporting, scooter riding, track riding, and what I like is just touring. I like touring. I like visiting places, seeing different things. It's actually kind of similar to my style of mountain biking, because I don't want to ride here many times over and try to get faster. I want to explore a different place, and motorcycling is the same thing. And I think people that are into mountain biking would probably enjoy motorcycling. It's so fun visiting different cities that normally you would not ever go, like Crozet, Virginia, near Charlottesville. And then I look up in the map, they also have these really nice mountain biking trails. So I was thinking, oh yeah, you can do both. I might do that. Strap a bicycle on the back of my motorcycle and go. Mountain bikers definitely have very similar personalities. I think, in a way, mountain bikers have higher education, and in this area, it seems that they also have way too much money, and it's the typical thing that you see with a lot of riders is that they get these $5,000 bikes and they think that you're going to get better if you have a really expensive mountain bike. I think in motorcycling, the idea is that you get a small motorcycle to start out with. Sometimes people don't listen, but you get a small motorcycle, like a 250, to start out with. And after a year or so of riding, you might want to move up to a bigger bike, like a 500 or a 650. Then after a year or two, you get a different motorcycle, like a 1000. And with the 1000, it kind of opens up a lot of doors because they're some of the most powerful. But then you go into like gold wing sizes. So after a while, you can kind of just pick whatever you want when it comes to motorcycles. But in mountain biking, there's really no point of not getting whatever you want right in the beginning. But I think it's kind of like a world of diminishing returns in mountain biking, because a $5,000 mountain bike is not going to make you a $5,000 mountain biker. I mean, you'll have good equipment, but when you have a guy like me keep up with a $5,000 bicycle, in a way, it should show you that, you know, the expensive bicycles is not really the important thing. But I have yet to really keep up with anybody that's really good. You know, just the point is that there's a rider around this area. He leads a lot of the rides. He rides a fixed gear, no suspension bike. And most riders ride full suspension bikes here. They cost $5,000. Crazy stuff. But this guy rides a single speed fixed gear, or single speed rigid bike, and he has no problem showing people how to ride. And that is actually a very similar thing to motorcycling. It's not the bike, it's the rider. But I also know that in this area there's a lot of money goes in. My current bike is a 1200cc adventure model. Is it this way? No. And I also have a Honda Elite 110, a 1985 Honda Elite 150, and an SH 150. Those three are scooters. Then I have a fully automatic NC700X by Honda. It's a dual clutch transmission motorcycle. Very cool. So, but I've had many motorcycles. Yeah, different personalities when it comes to motorcycling. I find that a lot of riders in the DC metro area for motorcycles tend to be douches. I should know. I'm one of them. You know, there's the style of motorcycle rider that likes to stop the beltway and do wheelies and burnouts. There's the sport bike guys that like to tear up the twisties. There's the touring guys that always ride out of the cities. There's the dual sport guys. Different styles of people. You know, I have gone on a ride. You know, I've gone on some of these like takeover rides, motorcycling. In a way, it's kind of like feels like a drug. It's like, you know, there's like 200, 300 motorcycles. And what we did, we took over the highway. I didn't. I mean, I was just riding. I actually had a police escort. And, like, it feels kind of powerful when you do it. But it was really kind of dangerous. And I don't know how and why these guys do it. A lot of it is for attention. You know, the look at me points. And a lot of the bikes that are in that kind of community are stolen. There's a lot of that happening in this area. I'm actually surprised that more bicycles, mountain bikers, don't get stolen. Considering the amount of money that these mountain bikes cost, I would think that thieves would start taking guys, mountain bikes on trails, you know, taking them to trails, taking them to the parking lot, loading them up and leaving. You're kind of very vulnerable out here. And one thing I found is that mountain bikers don't tend to be the types that carry weapons, and a lot of the mountain bikers tend to be fit, but they're also like, they don't seem to be the people that would hurt people. But also, I also get the idea that a lot of the mountain bikers are also the type that are into mixed martial arts. I guess you're rolling the dice when you are stealing from a mountain biker. You know, that's what they teach you in martial arts. If you ever get in a fight and you have the opportunity to run and leave, that's the right decision. I think people these days, they have a fake idea what a fight is. It's like people break fists all the time, just punching each other's heads without gloves, because they think that it's like a movie. This bike makes a lot of creaky noises. Yeah, I'd like to take Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu on a weekly basis, but one thing I'm finding is that things like all of these classes are extremely expensive. It's like they're only made for rich people. Looks like mountain bikers went by here.
What? Oh no. This sucks.